Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Chris here. We're painting this today, this bull, because I wanted to do it basically. No, but I'll show you some techniques in it as well, so I hope you like it. And leave me a comment and I always get back to you. So we'll crack on. Thanks guys. So we're doing a bull today. Fancied doing. So I'm just doing a light pinkish background. Just so, because we're doing the bull in quite darker colours, so just to give it a bit of contrast, so it shows up, yeah? So it's a pinky peachy background we're going for, so I'm just slapping it on. Get started. So I hope you enjoy this. I mean, this would be a nice one if your birth sign's Taurus, obviously, because it'd be a good example. Yeah, it'd be nice to do all the zodiac signs, but I don't really do themes. You know what I mean? No, I'm not even getting it. I don't do them. Sorry. But if you like to do them, that's fair enough. You know, I like the watercolour month challenge. I mean, no, it's just not me because I might not want to paint that particular thing one day. You know what I mean? I change my mind too much. That's what it is. But it'd be nice to do them eventually. So I've done this bull, which I liked. I thought, oh, he's nice. I'll have a crack at this. So we'll crack on. I'm not over worried about blending, just slap the first coat on and then I'm just doing a lighter tone just to do bits of highlights in the background. And we'll go from there. I'm just using my filbert brush. It's a nice softish brush that. It's nice for blending in too, you know what I mean? You could use your blending brush, slap it on and then blend it out. Whatever, but I'm not over fussed, I'm just getting it on and blending bits in even there, yeah? I hope you're all alright. Been alright this end. It's gone cold now here. I think the heat wave's gone for good. I don't think it'll be returning neither. Which I like it warm. I like it hot, I do admit, but you know what I mean. It were getting a bit ridiculously dry though because no rain. I know some people were relieved, like Mona in Sweden. She didn't like it. Too hot. But if you're not well, it makes you feel worse. I do admit that, you know what I mean. So I understand, Mona. So yeah, it's a lot cooler. So I've just sketched this on. You could transfer it on or trace it onto your tracing paper and then transfer it on. That's what I did. So I'm not bothered showing you that because I'm not showing you anything. Just going around with my stylus, putting it on, yeah? Or you can freehand it. I didn't freehand this one because I wanted to get the perspective right. So I traced it onto my tracing paper. Then put the carbon paper on your canvas. Make sure it's dry though, because you don't want that sticking because it leaves black marks. And then away you go, yeah? I use a stylus because if you're on tracing paper, you can see through it. And if you use a pen, I mean, some people use like different coloured pens so you can see where you've gone over the lines, yeah? But then it messes up your sketch, you know what I mean? So I just use a stylus because you can see through the paper. So you don't have to use a pen. But if you've got it on like a printed copy or something, maybe, yeah, use a pen. Then you're not missing any bits out. But I did it from tracing paper, then put my carbon paper underneath and did it that way. Or you can grid it as well. That takes a bit more time and patience. But I do grid a lot of my work as well. Anyway you want to get it on, just get it on there. Whichever's easiest. So I'm just going in with a dark bluey purple. I'm just putting in where I want the dark bits of the bull, obviously. Then we'll highlighting from there on in. I saw this image. I thought I like the stature of this bull because he looks very dominant and, you know, I won't say mean, a bit fierce looking and yeah, they are fascinating creatures as well, aren't they? You know what I mean? Very domineering, aren't they? I don't know if the Taurus sign is. Do I know anybody who's Taurus? Oh, Christy. I think Christy Smith. She follows me on here on Instagram. I think she's Taurus. So yeah, I'll dedicate this one to you, Christy. I hope you're Taurus, because I've said it now. If I'm wrong, you'll have to tell me off. I'm Cancer. Cancerian. I'm meek and mild and mellow sometimes. I don't really go in for that star sign. Your personality is your personality, I think, no matter when you're born. That's what I think, anyway. So I'm just using different shades here. I'm doing, obviously, the darker grey purple and the lighter grey purple. Just so I don't go into the bits. How do you explain? I don't want it to mingle into one image. So I can see that little bit under his belly, or see that bit on his leg. So if you just do it all dark, you know, you're covering up where the lighter and the darker bits are. So just use different tones. That's how I do. I find it easier anyway than just block painting it in one colour and then going with your highlights. This is like a bit of a guide for you. You know, it's really dark there on his hind leg and a bit lighter as you come out. Instead of just painting it all dark, then going in with the highlights, then you're checking your reference again, thinking, oh, wait, is it darker there or lighter there? You know, so if you do it as you go, I think it helps. Well, I think so. That's the way I do it. So yeah, I enjoyed doing this one. I thought, yeah, it looks nice. And I went for the peachy tony background because it complements as well to the colours I'm going to use on the bull as we get going. So that looked nice. I thought, yeah, that'd be alright. And if you're not sure about what colours to use on your background, I always check my colour wheel. That's the easiest way to do it. And look for the opposites. Look at your main subject, obviously what you're painting, what colours you want it, or whatever colour it is, if you know, following a reference. And then look on your opposites and complements of your colours, and it will show you on your colour wheel. So they're always handy to have in your art stash is a colour wheel. If you don't have one, just Google it. You know, what's complement of blue or what's complement of yellow, and it'll tell you. Because it's nice to get your painting in sync, if you will, because you have to be careful how you're doing it in a sense, because if you get it wrong, it just won't look right. You know, if I did this like say the background, for instance, like a green, different shades of green. No, just wouldn't look right at all, you know, with the blues and the oranges I'm going to add in. So just be aware of, you know, what you're doing. That's all I can say, really. That's what I learned. You know, you make mistakes and you correct yourself as you go along. And I also kept a little notebook as well of doing backgrounds and stuff and what looks right and what doesn't. So I just used to jot them down, saying, "Oh, that peacock I did looked nice with that such a colour background." And therefore, same with colour mixing. If you're just learning to do colour mixing or you're not sure about certain colours and you mix this colour and you get it how you want it, and you say, "Oh yeah, that's the colour," write it down how you've mixed it, and then you can refer back to it. Just like keep a little journal, that's all. And, you know, it's there for you to look at. I mean, I don't really need to look back on my colour mixing now because it's all logged into my brain. Well, I hope it is. But I do have it in my drawer if I need it. So I'm just going in with this rusty colour. So it's like a light red with a bit of burnt umber and a bit of yellow ochre in it. Just to get them light and darks like I've done with the blues. So I've got like a darker mix and a lighter mix, yeah? So the lighter mix will have like the yellow ochre in it. And a bit more burnt umber in the darker colour. Yeah, I like the look of him. I thought, oh, he's a grand looking specimen. All muscular and fired up, and yeah. I will have a do at this. Crack on. I'm just using my little angle brush. It's a softer angle brush, this one. I have quite a soft one, medium one, then quite a stiff one. This is like the in-betweeny one, which I quite like actually. I use it more often than not. But sometimes it can, even though they say you need a stiff brush for acrylics, they can be over stiff and they'll scratch the paint. It's different when you're oil painting, because obviously oil painting, you work in different ways than you are when you're working with acrylics. Because acrylics are more water-based, and more you add water, the thinner it's going to be. And if you're using a really stiff brush, it's going to scratch it onto your canvas. It's going to look all scratchy, unless that's the effect you want. But when you're blending stuff, you don't want it scratching it around your canvas, because you're never going to get it blended. So that's what I've found over the years anyway. Definitely oil painting, I like really stiff bristle brushes for that. You know, it's different. Totally different. I'm just gonna doing some bits of highlights. I'm not just going mad yet. I'm just trying to get the tonal values in. Obviously, you're not doing the colours now while you're doing this until, you know, you're nearly finished. Obviously, don't put your main colours on. You want to keep them for last. It's like your highlights. Don't put your main highlights on till you've near enough finished doing your blocking in stage. I shall not get it up to the colour, because acrylics are about layers, obviously, anyway. So you're building them up. So you want thin layers. You don't want thick paint. When you're building layers up in acrylics, you want your paints quite, not translucent, obviously. I don't mean it like that. Or I mean, glazes, yeah. If you're glazing up, that's lots of thin layers. But if you're not using the glazing technique, then it's just normal, your normal paint coverage. But make sure there's no thick paint or lumps. Make sure you're blending stuff out as much as you can. And you're getting an even coverage then for when you're doing your next layer. You don't want any high spots or bumps or thick blobs of paint. So then you're not going to get the desired effect then. Even though I'm covering that up on his shoulder, that blue with that orangey browny colour, you can still see the layer underneath because I'm doing it thinly. I'm not using a lot of thick paint, just using a tiny little bit of paint and really blending it out. Yeah, that were purple. I think I used ultramarine blue. I think cobalt blue I used for the blue on his body so far. Now my next couple of videos, they'll be like this, but I've changed it over as well now, just to help you guys out. Well, I'll have my palettes in the picture, so I hope that will be better for you. So I appreciate everybody watching, you know, and I want to make sure you're getting the best quality videos I can supply you, in a sense. I know I'm not teaching or anything like that. I mean, there's teaching channels out there for people, but I just want to be able to show you everything I'm doing, you know what I mean, as much as I can. So in the next couple of videos it should be, or the next video, I'm not sure now, don't quote me on this, but I'll let you know. Yeah, you'll be able to see me palette and me mixing my paint, so I hope that'll be alright for you. So I do appreciate everybody watching and all your comments and your feedback. You know, it means a lot to me and I really appreciate it. I know I'm supplying these videos free, but that's my choice because that's what YouTube's about, in my opinion. Yeah, you can do Patreon and other sites, you know, you can set up your own website or whatever. But I just want to share my art. That's what I'm about. I mean, I've no gimmicks or hidden agendas. I'm just here to paint, and I like to show you guys. So, and I appreciate that you appreciate it. So that means a lot to me. Yeah. So speech over week, but I do appreciate it. I do. So I'm just going in with some darker browny orange colour. I mean, if you haven't got the orange as such, which I use because I don't really mix my orange. I buy, like I said before in my other video, I buy the cadmium orange. Everybody Professional. Now, I think they're wonderful. I mean, I've tried mixing to get to this orange, and I can't get nowhere near it, so I buy it. But I have 2 oranges in 2 different brands of paint, and they're both different. But my favourite is the one I normally use, the lighter colour cadmium orange, which you'll probably have seen. You might see it on this video. But yeah, you can mix it, obviously, your reds and your yellows, depending what red you use. I mean, magenta's a good colour to mix with yellow to get a nice orange. I'll make a brighter orange, and your cad red medium and your yellow make a darker, slight darker orange. Plus you can add your white, you know, to lighten it as such, depending what look you're after. But I prefer to buy it as it is because I've tried mixing this colour and I just can't get it. So that's the only reason. If I could mix it, probably I wouldn't have bought it, but I can't, and I like it. I've used it in quite a few paintings. The Bay one, where I named Dave Usher painting. I used it in that. I've used it in quite a lot of my paintings. If you've watched my videos, even doing the Raven, used it in that. Yeah, so I do use it. Plus, I don't think it costs you any more to buy them because you're not using other paints to mix to this colour, you know what I mean? So I think it swings and roundabouts. Whatever floats your boat, you just do your own thing, you know what I mean? Because everybody has their own way of doing, don't they? Plus, I never use a limited palette. It just depends what I'm painting. So I'll be adding colours to my art all the time. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw the pink flamingo I did at that art challenge that I was quite happy somebody bought. You know, they're not your normal average paints that you buy, you know what I mean? Or you paint with every day, should I say. So I do use different colours, which I enjoy because it's a challenge as well. I like to challenge myself because it stops you getting in a rut and what's the word? Not painter's block or artist block or whatever people call it. It just keeps your mind refreshed, you know, because you're creating different styles. That's what I mean. And I like doing different styles. If you've watched some of my videos, you know, my styles will be different. Yeah, you can tell it's me, obviously, but it'll be a different style. You know what I mean? So I like to challenge myself now and again through doing that. It keeps my mind up to date, if you will, as much as my mind can be up to date. Don't it? Probably not, because I'm never up to date with anything, but it keeps it refreshed. My mind works different sometimes than other people, I'm sure. Right, so I'm going in with phthalo blue now, with a bit of white and a touch of cobalt blue. And I'm using this technique that I used on that cove painting that I did, that beach scene. Where I'm just dabbing it in. Now I want to leave some of the underpainting showing because this is the effect I'm looking for. So I'm not actually painting over everything. So it's like a dabbing technique. So this will be the first layer. I'm using the cobalt blue, and then I think I just change it to phthalo blue and white. Now phthalo blue is a very potent, powerful colour, which this desired look I wanted. So that's another reason why I chose that colour of blue. But obviously you could use any blue you wanted it to look like. And again, it goes with the orange. I mean, they just scream at each other, you know, be my friend, you know, it's just one of those. It's just nice for the eye to look at as well. And it does pop out the colour. Yeah, it looks a bit messy now, but I'm just trying to get the basics in where I want these blue highlights. So, bear with. But as you can see, the orange now with the background, it's all drawing in together. It looks nice. I mean, if you wanted it blended out more, you can do by all means. If you wanted a smooth background, you know, or if you wanted it texture, you could have done it thicker paint or a bit of paste with it or gel, thicken it up a bit. Could have palette knifed it on. You know, it depends what effect you're after. So that's why I went with the darker undertone to start with, you know, the purple and the blue. It's so this would stand out, but you can still see the underpainting, the darker tones underneath, which is, again, the effect I was looking for in this particular painting. You can't just do an average bowl, can I? An average black bowl, a brown bowl, no. No, my brain won't allow it. I could, but I don't. I like to do my different styles. As I said, I've let that dry and I'm going in with a lighter colour now. So I've knocked the other blue off, so I'm just using phthalo blue and white. And you could have used a turquoise, that'd have been nice too. You know, if you could have got a nice turquoise colour and mixed a couple of different shades, you know, that would have been nice. I like the blue and orange, but the turquoise and orange would look just as nice, I think, because they're nice complements as well. So yeah, that's a thought. Or in a different animal or a different style of painting, you know, you could still use them colours together, even like in a seascape, they still look nice. So I've just lost his forehead a bit there, so I'm just, these will be the highlights for that area to, you know, shape his head. So obviously that's his neck going back there. They have them big necks, don't they? Here's my little brush. Any little detail brush. Like I say, I don't have fancy brushes. I just don't. That's it. I just don't. I buy alright brushes, but I won't pay a lot of a fortune for them because personally I don't see the point. Because the standards of brush making today, I think, are very, very similar across the board. You know, unless you're going into the top brands of stuff. I can't quote watercolour brushes because I don't really know enough about them. But in acrylics, you know, they use the same, they wash the same, you know, they are abused that way in certain paintings, obviously. So they have to make them to a decent standard. That's what I'm saying. I mean, unless you're buying the kiddie ones out the craft store that bristles fall out, that's a different story altogether. You know, I won't pay more than £3 for a brush. Put it that way. If I can help it. And even then, I'd have to be desperate. You know what I mean? Because, you know, they can't give you a lifetime guarantee on them, can they? I mean, it's just impossible. How can they? A brush ain't going to last you for life. No way. So they can't guarantee anything for life. Well, I don't think so. Not in a brush term, anyway. So it just depends how you look after them as well and how you treat them. You know, if you're doing a lot of scrumbling and scrubbing, you know, they're going to wear out faster, aren't they, than just general painting. That's what I mean. Anyway, that just my bit on the brush, on the brushes. If they're decent enough and they're cheap enough, I'm happy. I mean, to start if you want to start painting and it's a thing you're interested in, you don't have to go out and buy the best brushes. You know what I mean? You can create nice paintings. I mean, I can create some nice paintings with the brushes I've got. You know what I mean? And somebody could create this identical painting with some really expensive brushes, and you won't tell the difference. That's what I mean. So don't think you're pressured into buying these expensive brushes because I prove you don't need them. Well, I have anyway. I can't speak for anybody else, but just speaking for myself. I can do. But you want to enjoy it, don't you? You want to enjoy the process. You don't want to be thinking, oh, I need such a brush, or I need to get that. You know, it's too much pressure on yourself. Then you're not enjoying your painting because you're worrying about other things. Decent paint, yeah, I agree with you. You need the decent paint. It's same in watercolouring, isn't it? You need decent paper. You know, you can't just do it on a piece of cardboard. It's never going to work. So I agree with decent paint. So I'm just going in with brighter orange. That's that cadmium orange I was on about earlier. You might still just have a bit of that brown in, but as I get to the end of the painting, obviously it'll be the pure cadmium orange I use out the tube. So the effect we're going for on this is illumination, whereas the painting looks illuminated through how you've used your colours. That's the effect I was looking for. Not how light your colours are, how dark they are. It's what colours you've used. Does that make sense? It's how you've used the colours. But like I said, does it help with decent paints because you're getting the pigments. You know what I mean? Plus these paints I use, now I've done a test with the Winsor & Newton and the Acrylic paints that I've used for colour shifting, and I'm really not noticing any colour shift. You know, sometimes you paint something, then you move on, you go back, oh, that looks darker. You know, sometimes acrylic paints can do that. They can dry a few shades darker actually in some brands, but I find these don't, so I stick with them and I like them. So I find if you find something that you like and you're happy with, my advice is stick with it. Why change something or fix something that's not broke? That's my opinion. Crack on with what you've got. So I left this to dry overnight, come back to it day after, didn't have to touch a thing. Not a thing. I thought, well, you know, I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Because then it's saving you work. You know, you could be starting another project or designing something else. You're not going back trying to do the colour shifts in your paints. That's all I'm saying. So just bear that in mind as well when you buy your paints. What brands are there about the colour shift, light fast? You know, there's all that to consider. And I can tell you these don't shift colour. And even if they do, it's very hardly any noticeable at all. I don't think I've gone back on since I've used Winsor & Newton. Trying to think now. No, I don't think I have to go back and alter any colour on them actually. I did want to use the cheaper brand of paints, the cheaper Winsor & Newtons, but I'm using they're in the silver tube. I mean, I'm not saying they're cheap because they're not. I won't lie, they're not cheap at all. But you get what you pay for, and it's saving you a job at the end of the day going back altering your painting because of the colour shift. So that's how I found it. And to me, it doesn't work out any dearer because you're using less paint in a sense because you're not doubling up again, trying to cover it up to make it lighter, darker, whatever, you know what I mean. Like swings and roundabouts, whatever you're happy with, I suppose, and I'm happy with these, so yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of paints, isn't there, out there? Good grief. You could fill a bloody newspaper with every different design, every different brand, every different everything, couldn't you? The list goes on and on, because everybody wants to sell the product, don't they? But if you find something that works for you and you like it, it's just a good idea to stick with it, I think, anyway. I mean, I wouldn't tell you to go out and buy these, because I'm not that type of person, you know what I mean? But I will say if something's alright and if something's not, that's, I'll try and help you out that way. And if I can save you money on stuff that I've experienced in my art career, I'll let you know. So there. Same. I'll just bring this hooves in. Well, his highlights for his hooves. So I'm just using a light yellow ochre here. It's yellow ochre with some white and a tiny bit of yellow in. Still leaving the dark bits of his hoof, obviously, because you want them to show up. Highlighting around his nose because it's dark around there, so that makes that show up. Bit around his eye. Just go around your painting and think, wow, that's not showing up, so that needs highlighting around that area. You think, oh, it's a bit dark there, so I'll just put a bit of highlight there, or contrast, or whatever. Doing his horns, I'm using the same colours I did for his hooves. Now, I haven't painted his back hooves in because there was no point really, because we're going to do a bit of dust flying up, so like he's come to a stop and he's like snorting or whatever, he's ground to a halt. So he's kicked a bit of dirt up and a bit of dust. Make his horns a bit lighter now with another colour. So always use your lightest colour for your highlights. So you can make everything stand out. Plus you've got your layers. So just a tiny bit of light around that ear. Just, not too much. Just so you could see it near the horn. You don't want to, what I mean, don't put a line, a bright line around the ear. I mean, sometimes it's just subtle changes in your painting that you're looking for. So otherwise it'll look too dramatic. Do you know what I mean? I hope you've enjoyed this. I enjoyed painting this. I thought you were lovely. A lovely specimen of a bull. And if it's your star sign, that's even better, isn't it? You could paint yourself one. I say I'm Cancer, so I'm a crab. A side-walking crab. Who comes up with these anyway? I don't know. Who decides what you are? Why do you have to be an animal? I'd rather be a tree or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to be a crab. Bull's nice, isn't it? And Aries, that's nice. Is that the ram? And Virgo, that's a nice sign. Oh, I know. I've got a right rubbish one, haven't I? A sculling crab. Oh, well. Can't have everything, can we? So I'm just going in with that yellow again I've had on my palette that I did his hooves and his horns in with. That light yellowy white. I'm just highlighting a bit more where I think it needed it. Just to break up a bit of that pinky colour. Still want it in there, because I like that effect. We're going to kick up a bit of dust now. If you want to put a bit of water into, make it a bit thinner, you can do. So I've just got some brown on, so I'm just flicking some, it's going everywhere. Just flicking some like dirt, if you will, up. Like he's come to a halt. Yeah, it looks alright. I liked it. Really nice. So I like that effect as well, where we did with the brush, just with the dabbing instead of just told painting it. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I enjoyed doing it and showing you, obviously. And I thank you for all your comments and your likes, and really lovely. Love it. Lovely people. And create something wonderful if you can. Just get creative and crack on. I'm messing now, I'm just messing with background. Doing it a bit dark in that corner, that's all. No biggie. But I like the background. It's not a difficult painting to paint, the main thing's the drawing, but you can always transfer it on, so not that bad. A few more highlights, and then I think we're done. So that cadmium yellow really pops it out. Orange, sorry. Really pops up them colours. Got the Posca pens. Thanks, guys. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on my next video. Okay, thank you. Ta-ra.